The Senate President and members of National Assembly here present, honorable ministers, revered national rulers, distinguished stakeholders in this assignment called Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. It is my utmost pleasure to formally welcome His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, His Excellency the Vice President, His Excellency the Senate President, all state governors, and all invited guests to the launch of this great book, Discover Nigeria. Economic diversification is one of the major planks of this administration, and that entails looking into other viable sectors outside oil to grow the economy, create jobs, and earn foreign exchange. One of the identified sectors is tourism, which supports 10 jobs globally and provides livelihood for millions more around the world. Having identified tourism as an area of economic diversification, the administration has taken concrete steps to sell Nigeria as a viable tourist destination, despite the huge challenge arising mostly from the deliberate demarketing of the country by some of its citizens. In 2018, Nigeria hosted the United Nations World Tourism Organization, WTO CAF meeting, which attracted tourism stakeholders from all over the world to Nigeria. And next year, Nigeria will again host the world, this time through the UNWTO Regional Conference. Only on Monday, we hosted in Kebbi State the 2021 World Tourism Day, an event that is also aimed at fostering global awareness on the importance of tourism. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in our bid to win the hosting rights for the 2018 UNWTO CAF meeting, we prepared a 5-minute video which we presented to the UNWTO. That video showcased Nigeria as the undiscovered jewel in the crown of Africa, which is home to a unique people of incomparable passion, a country blessed with breathtaking landscapes, a country of drums, color, culture, festival, music, rhythm, and art. The video was played to a global applause at a UNWTO meeting in Addis Ababa, and effectively won the hosting rights for us, in addition to convincing many foreigners to travel to Nigeria for the meeting. The book we are here to launch today, entitled Discover Nigeria, is undoubtedly the book version of that video, even though the two works were authored by different people. It is encouraging and an outstanding achievement to have a young man like Bayo Omoboliowo to become a pace setter and a pathfinder to unveil, discover, and share our rich cultural heritage, thus opening the doors for the world to experience, invest, and explore the many opportunities across the 36 states of the nation and the Federal Capital Territory. By traveling across the length and breadth of this great nation, night and day, through thick and thin, and amidst all the challenges, Bayo has demonstrated uncommon diligence and impressive patriotism. The book, Discover Nigeria, which is the outcome of Bayo's great efforts, is a huge achievement that is worthy of celebration and deep appreciation. Through the book, which showcases the rich cultural heritage of our country, Bayo has keyed into the area of tourism called cultural tourism, which the United Nations World Tourism Organization defines as a type of tourism activity in which the visitor's essential motivation is to learn, discover, experience, and consume the tangible and intangible cultural attractions, products in a tourist destination. The Federal Ministry of Information and Culture is very proud of the great work that has been produced by Bayo, which complements our efforts at showcasing and selling Nigeria as a viable tourist destination. The latest of such efforts is our ongoing campaign to retrieve thousands of our artifacts, including the much cherished Benin bronzes, most of which were looted from us over 100 years ago. We are currently working to retrieve over 1,000 Benin bronzes from Germany alone. We are optimistic we will bring the artifacts home in the months ahead. And we are also in contact with the UK, the US, Netherlands, and Switzerland, among others, to also retrieve our looted works of art and bring them home to form part of our efforts to boost domestic and international tourism. On this note, I want to once again congratulate Bayo for a job well done and also welcome all of us to this book launch. I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together one more time for the Honorable Minister of Tourism and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Let me also welcome here tonight the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. I welcome you, Your Excellency. I welcome you. Your Excellencies, a lot of people believe that culture is the arts elevated to a set of beliefs. For our next speaker, he believes in order to preserve our culture, we must continue to create. No wonder he is the SDF. To him, culture is the widening of the mind and of the spirit. To add his voice to this lovely, beautiful, glamorous cultural night, let me welcome here the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Your Excellency, the Vice President, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, former Vice Presidents, Your Excellency, the governors of the various states here gathered, members of the Federal Executive Council, Your Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Your Royal Majesty, the Oni of Ife, permanent secretaries and heads of departments and agencies, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen of the press. I feel highly honored to stand here and deliver these few remarks as part of my responsibility as the chairman of the Inter-ministerial Committee of Nigeria at 60 to bring a closure to the one-year celebration of our Diamond Jubilee as a nation. Permit me to seize this opportunity to express my gratitude on behalf of members of the Nigeria at 60 Inter-ministerial Committee to Mr. President for finding us worthy to serve on this assignment. It is also befitting that I acknowledge the tremendous support of members of the Inter-ministerial Committee, with whom, for the first time in our great nation's history, we were able to attempt a one-year celebration of an independence anniversary. A thought that ran through the minds of some Nigerians was how we would undertake a one-year celebration. Do we plan to undertake activities every day? That question was answered when it was made clear that activities would be undertaken at evenly dispersed times to culminate in an end on September 30th, 2021, which we are witnessing today. In the course of the one-year celebration, we have been able to showcase the beauty of our diversity in various forms, especially in manufacturing, food, innovation, and being together, which was our theme. Today's event is unique as it is a combination of several activities to demonstrate how the appreciation of our diversity should always serve as the underlying premise of our being and remaining together as a nation. The book, Discover Nigeria, will be unveiled by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Muhammadu Buhari. The book pictorially chronicles various aspects of our dear country, Nigeria, showcasing a number of breathtaking moments from parts of the country that some of us may not even be aware of. Beside the book, we would also be taking a glance at achievements that have been recorded by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in the last 6 years across all sectors. However, this is just a prelude to the main event that will take place later in the year. As a nation, we need to spend more time celebrating ourselves, irrespective of the circumstances of our birth, where we come from, because the world celebrates Nigerians over the globe because of their outstanding achievements. It is for this reason that a special awards ceremony was made part of the closing activities for our Diamond Jubilee celebration. The aim is to recognize deserving Nigerians for their significant contributions to the growth of various sectors of our economy and cultural life. The nomination process of these awardees was completely made a citizen's choice, cutting across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, and was undertaken in 60 days from June to July 2021. A total number of 405 nominations were made through a citizens' pool, out of which 60 emerged as eventual winners. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, there are 10 categories of awards, each having a specific subject area. Each special award is underpinned by the overarching qualities of transparency, integrity, determination, and achievement. The categories of the award are: for service to arts, 1; for new age business innovation; for service to community; for service to education; for service to healthcare; for service to industry; for service to sports; for service or for international achievement; for service to philanthropy; and lastly, for lifetime achievement and some posthumous award. I wish to congratulate all of our awardees for the event of today. To have been chosen as one of 60 notable Nigerians qualified for this special recognition out of a population of over 200 million is not a mean feat. Your contributions to national development have not gone unnoticed. As we sit in this culturally suffused atmosphere and reflect on the beauty of this diverse display of our wonderful culture, it is my conviction our resolve to keep this unity will be strengthened henceforth. As we enjoy the atmosphere, I warmly welcome you once more to this special event and wish you a happy 61st Independence Anniversary, and to say again, see you next year. Thank you for listening, and God bless you.
God bless you too, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the SGF captured it appropriately. Tonight, our event is standing on 3 legs. The first one is the cultural and artistic leg that defines our environment and where we are seated tonight. The second one is the awards that he talked about, and the third one is highlighting the achievements of His Excellency the President in a wonderful concept called Baba for All. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the landscape, the vegetation, the waterfalls, our food, our drums, our music, and our dance all come together to define our cultural heritage. But let's take a look at the stage right now and see how this will be displayed by some of our wonderful drummers and dancers. Let's have our cultural performances.
things. From the rising sun down to the sundown, I have seen warriors stand their grounds in the midst of battlegrounds, but none compares to you, Niger. The pride and the backbone of the black man's heritage, on how you quickly put a smile even in the midst of chaos. Look at you. It is your beautiful coat of arms that flew in the eagle in the storm. It is you that survived the pandemic. No be lie, I have seen things. Beauties and wonders alike, I have seen an Achebe speaking with a thick Yoruba accent, so much so I thought it was a showing car, and he was calling out to a malam putting on danshuki, and he called him a bookie. My friend, I have seen things. I said I have seen a Chino Achebe, literally speaking with a thick Yoruba accent, so much so I thought it was a Wole showing car, and he was calling out to a malam tying rapper, and he called him a bookie. My friend, I have seen things. Mothers holding on to dreams with both hands while they climbed up the ladder just to raise a family. Dreams nurtured in open streets by market women from the junctions of Ebeda down to Inyanya. A young boy who went through school barefoot down the streets of Yenogwa even made his way through to the seats in Asu. Wasn't that good luck? I have seen freedom fighters. I have seen Nigerians fly high the flags of our green, white, green. Their story lies in the streets of Ojuelegba. Posters and billboards across Africa telling tales of a young musician who came to terms with the essence that he's a star boy. And this is essence, that we hang on to our dreams like that of a star in the hands of a legend. And bear with all our flaws, we all could be heroes. I said, this is essence, that you hang on to your dreams like that of a star in the hands of a legend. And bear with all our flaws, we all could be heroes. I am Nigeria. I reckon with every single teardrop of rainfall that falls from our eyes to keep this vast farmland of ours green. And to our fathers, to Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, Tafawa Balewa amongst us, to every single teardrop and bloodshed, shed to keep us strong as one even at 61. To all our heroes, the ones we know and celebrate on our TV screens, and the ones we don't know and despise on our streets, we pray, may their labor not be in vain.
About Nigeria,
of cultural heritage, are conglomerates of diverse tongues.
I have traversed the length and breadth of this country, to the arid savanna, to the rainforest, to the dodgy creek.
Remember the landmarks and breathtaking ancient architectures, unique landscapes, fashion, cuisines, and lifestyles.
So much wonders in one country.
Nigeria is a country to live. Nigeria is a country to visit. Yes, Nigeria is a country to invest.
We dance to peace.
We dance to unity.
And we
dance
to
to
love.
love.
Vice President.
Hello. Citizens of our great country, Nigeria, this journey began 120 years ago. To mention a very key event, first, as a British protectorate in 1901, and 60 years later, we are now an independent country. In this progress, we have been redefined. The fabrics of our conscience have been tampered with. We have spoken silently and been heard in public spaces, yet strengthened by our resilience and bonded by the native essence of our cultural values. Hence, we have continued as a country united in one purpose. As a diamond administration, and with the overwhelming support of Nigerians, we have successfully taken this country to a height we desired years back. Firstly, our transport infrastructure is improving. Economic reforms and diversification from oil to agriculture and tourism, provisions of enterprise grants for business owners. Also, education is in the front burner of our deliverables as an administration. Our healthcare delivery has shown great improvement in the way we handle the COVID-19 pandemic. We have also taken full responsibility on security and going forward to improve on manpower and technology. The issue of the internally displaced people through threatened ancestral rights disputes is being constitutionally revisited, like in the case of Bakassi, Kaduna, and Borno. It is also in our leadership fact to ensure that the citizens of our dear country enjoy effective and competent judiciary and sustainable democracy. Good to mention that this administration is working out modalities to compensate victims of the NSAS protests across the nation. Finally, fellow citizens, looking deep, our number is our strength. Let us take full advantage of our potentials and resist all strange elements from our system. As we celebrate and discover Nigeria after 60 years of independence together, let us remember the integrity and honesty that built this great nation. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Buhari is walking for a greater Nigeria. Every eye will see, every eyes have seen the change. Buhari is walking for a greater Nigeria. Every eyes have seen the change. He's walking for a better Nigeria. Every eyes have seen the change. Buhari is walking for a better Nigeria. Every eyes have seen the change. Buhari is walking for a better night. Every eyes have seen the change. Walking for a better night. Every eyes have seen.
Our religious leaders and faith-based organizations still have a huge role to play.
Nigerians rally for peace, unity and justice at 61st Independence Anniversary Public Lecture.
I guess the committees will look into that.
House of Representatives to probe MDAs over non-implementation of 2021 budget.
Every governor has got a focal person for the social investment program.
Plus, federal government strengthens measures to end hunger in Nigeria. This is NTA Network News. We're live in Abuja. I'm Ian John. Welcome. This is an abridged version. We shall continue with the live broadcast of the 61st Independence Anniversary Awards ceremony in a few minutes. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari will at 7 a.m. tomorrow, Friday, October 1, 2021, address the nation as part of activities marking the 61st Independence Anniversary of the country. Special advisor to the President on media publicity, Femi Adesina, enjoins all television, radio and other electronic media outlets to hook up to the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, for the address. President Muhammadu Buhari is leading the charge for Nigerians to walk the talk on national integration based on genuine love and concern for each other. The president gave the charge in a message delivered through his chief of staff, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, to the Independence Day Special Jumat prayer and public lecture in Abuja. Abdullahi Ajia tells us more.
President Buhari's representative joined an array of top government officials and leaders of the Islamic faith, as well as traditional rulers in the country, led by His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar, on a topical lecture to commemorate the 61st independence anniversary. The president and other speakers were united in their positions that Nigeria's challenges are surmountable, with a concerted effort to rejig policies, redefine commitment to leadership and entrenchment of social justice. Doing this, they collectively agree, will defeat enemies of the state.
In the behavior of terrorists, in the behavior of all the other people who are undermining the peace and security of our nations, including secessionists, definitely mercy and compassion are not part of their stocks in trade.
Our religious leaders and faith-based organizations still have a huge role to play because they are closest to the people at the grassroots and they speak to their hearts and minds.
If you are a leader, you must be just in your handling of activities or issues or governance to all and sundry.
Guest speaker, Professor Abdulaziz Taufik, who spoke on unity and peaceful coexistence in a multi-religious society, Islamic perspective, enumerated factors militating against collective progress.
Leadership must monitor policy implementation, and do this direct from the people.
The government and Friends of Nigeria emphasized dialogue, integration, compassion and mercy as some of the ingredients required as quick solutions to the myriads of national challenges which they maintained President Buhari is demonstrating. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is leading the charge for Nigerians to walk the talk on national integration based on genuine love and concern for each other. That report has been taken. Now, President Ram Nath Kovind of India has sent a congratulatory message to Nigeria on the occasion of the country's 61st independence anniversary. In the letter to President Muhammadu Buhari, the Indian president conveyed his best wishes to the Nigerian leader as he expressed hope for the continued prosperity of the country. He promised to work towards the strengthening of relations between the two countries. For the past 61 years, Nigeria has been on a bittersweet journey of clinching self-sufficiency in food production while confronting challenges in many areas and recording major successes in some. But what was the level of food production in the 1960s, and how has an increase in population impacted on the demand and supply chain? Agriculture correspondent Musa Baba Aliyu attempts to answer these questions in our next report.
Informal commodity market, also known as farmers' market, has been in existence before the coming of colonial masters and after the independence of the country in 1960. The market stood as a source of agricultural raw materials for export during the colonial era. Revenue generation and foreign earnings through agriculture, especially cash crops, were high at that time.
You politicians?
Ado Ogbe was a young politician in the 60s and 70s, said profits from agriculture sustained the country during the Civil War between 1967 and 1970.
We had marketing boards, and there were very skilled people who taught farmers how to grow things, how to harvest them, how to dry them, to meet international standards. And they went around villages showing farmers what to do, what not to do, how to do it. And then they will gather up the crops, buy, and then organize a ship.
There have been efforts by previous administrations to revive agricultural sector and put it where it was before the discovery of oil without success.
If we go back to it and we stop deceiving ourselves, we face the reality of what the farmer needs, and we bring in modern equipment, Nigeria has no reason of being hungry or poor.
Yes, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. The light is already glowing, shining on the success recorded by the present administration in repositioning agricultural sector. The first step taken was the introduction of a policy known as Green Alternative Agricultural Plan to take agriculture to its rightful position in Nigeria.
We have the talent, we have the resources, we have everything it takes to make Nigeria the #1 producer, exporter of food, not just to African countries, but even outside this country.
Anchor borrowers was later introduced to provide financial support and inclusion in the farming system.
One of the cardinal objectives of this administration, which is to look inwards as we focus on our natural endowments in agriculture and other non-oil sectors for inclusive growth and development.
The pyramids that symbolized Nigeria's agricultural potentials are resurfacing after disappearance for over 5 decades. Rice and maize pyramids, housing thousands of bags, were built in some states, showcasing the impact of the federal government CBN agricultural activities.
Because we get certified seed from reputable companies through the Anchor Borrower program. Same farmer that used to get 2 metric tons, between 2 metric tons to 3.5 metric tons, gets between 5, 6, and 7 metric tons today.
The difference between the pyramids of 60s and the one today is that the pyramids in the days of colonialism and after were meant for the export of raw materials. The present ones are for processing and ensuring value addition for local consumption and for export as well. In Abuja, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, former head of state, General Abdulsalami Abubakar, has expressed confidence that with sincerity of purpose in entrenching equity and justice, as well as patriotism, the country will get out of its current challenges. The former military leader expressed this view during a press briefing in Minna ahead of Nigeria's 61st independence anniversary. Fatima Aliyu reports.
The military leader acknowledged that the task of nation building is not an easy one, especially in a country with more than 250 ethnic groups in which each and everyone is yearning for a place in governance. General Salami Abubakar noted that before the advent of Boko Haram and most recently banditry, Nigerians were living in harmony. He commended security agencies.
Citizens of Nigeria doing their citizens' duty in assisting as much as possible the security agencies in giving them intelligence. There must be an effort to carry everybody along.
General Salami Abubakar also joined the clique of hopeful Nigerians to celebrate as 61.
We expect a more united country where our leaders' concern will be for the welfare of its people and the progress of the nation.
The former head of state says the task of nation building is a collective responsibility. We are almost the same to do is our best for the sun to rise again in Nigeria. In Minna, Fatima Aliyu, NTA News.
Similarly, outgoing German Chancellor Angela Merkel earlier today reached out to President Muhammadu Buhari in a telephone call to pay compliments to the Nigerian president on his address at the 76th edition of the United Nations General Assembly in New York last week. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, in a statement explained that Chancellor Merkel thanked President Buhari for his kind words and felicitation, wishing him greater successes in a challenging task of leading Nigeria. In his address at the UN General Assembly, President Buhari was appreciative of the cooperation Germany gave Nigeria and the ECOWAS SAP region at large. He particularly mentioned the support for the project to recharge the Lake Chad through inter-basin water transfer, which would alleviate the plight of about 30 million people. President Buhari applauded Merkel's initiatives on rehabilitation of refugees and help for developing countries. He said German companies like Julius Berger, Siemens and others are doing well in Nigeria, adding that the federal government is doing a lot to improve infrastructure. On security, the president said a lot is being done to stabilize things in this difficult period, thanking all countries supportive of Nigeria, including Germany. Time for our first break. Please stay.
Do you know how stressful it is if you're this tricky? Are you still there? If you're not getting me fresh meat, do you understand?
Okay, I'm at the meat.
Can you switch to your call, please? Okay, give me that one. The one by your side.
Okay, please.
Where do I buy all these things now? Hey, go get Glow Berekete and call madam.
The heavyweight voice and data plan. Get 600 Naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans.
The federal government has commenced second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive AstraZeneca or Moderna COVID-19 vaccine as first dose. If you received your first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July, get your second dose now. All COVID-19 vaccines are free and certified safe. At the vaccination site, You can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screened for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
The Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission hereby invites all state executive, legislative and judiciary officials or presiding officers, local government officials, civil society groups, organized labor, elder statesmen and the general public to the zonal public hearing on the Revenue Allocation Formula Review scheduled as follows. Southwest hosting state, Lagos, comprising of Ekiti, Oyo, Ogun, Ondo and Osun, date 4th and 5th October. South-South hosting state, Rivers, comprising of Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Cross River, Delta and Edo State, date 7th and 8th October. Southeast hosting state, Imo, comprising of Anambra, Ebonyi, Abia, and Enugu, date 11th and 12th October. Northwest hosting state, Kaduna, comprising of Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Sokoto, and Zamfara, date 14th and 15th October. North Central hosting state, Kogi, comprising of Benue, Kwara, Nasarawa, and Plateau, date 18th and 19th October. Northeast hosting state, Gombe, comprising of Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Taraba, and Yobe, date 21st and 22nd October. FCT, 25th and 26th October 2021. Participants are expected to submit 5 hard copies of their memoranda in addition to a soft copy on the proposed review to the Secretary of the Commission, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, with the phone number 0803-450-0062. Before or during the public hearing, all memoranda should contain the contact address and telephone numbers of the authors. Signed, Management.
My name is Olusegun Awolowo, the Executive Director, CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, and President of the ECOWAS Trade Promotion Organization Network. We're happy to join the celebrations as we mark the 61st independence anniversary of our dear nation, Nigeria. We're a uniquely blessed country, and the richness of our diverse cultures and vibrant people continues to intrigue the rest of the world. We at NEPC have keyed into this spirit by spearheading the optimization of our diversity for inclusive economic growth. Our profound thanks to Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief of the Nigerian Forces, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari GCFR, for his great leadership and immense support, which has provided a perfect environment for NEPC to strive to make the world a marketplace for Nigerian non-oil products and services. We join our compatriots the world over to wish Mr. President and all Nigerians a happy 61st Independence Day celebration. God bless Nigeria at 61.
Hey there, what's on your bucket list? Would you like to travel the world, live your best life? What if I told you you could blow right this minute and do everything on that list? Airtel is celebrating its anniversary and saying thank you to all loyal customers. You stand a chance to win up to 100 million naira with guaranteed cash tokens in the Airtel Recharge and Blow Anniversary promo. Plus 250 megabytes and 20 SMS free. How awesome is that? All you have to do is recharge to win. For more information, dial *444*4#. Everyone's a winner. So hurry now. The more you recharge, the more you win.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Hello?
Ijoma, what is it again? I sent you money just last week.
But I'm not calling because of money.
Then why are you calling me?
I'm calling because I saw your name on a publication by Nigerians in Diaspora Commission called +600 Diaspora Icons at 60.
Really?
Yes, brother. Brother, you don't blow.
Wait. How can I get a copy of this publication now?
+600 Diaspora Icons at 60. A publication by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission celebrating Nigerians excelling all over the world. For further details, visit www.nicom.gov.ng. To order your copy, please go to www.conga.com or please call 070-1051-7526 or 090-4404-4444.
President, National Union of Road Transport Workers,
NURTW, Professor Ibikunle Tajuddin Barua, on behalf of staff and management, congratulates His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari and all Nigerians on the occasion of Nigeria's 61st independence anniversary. We pray that the country will continue to record progress to be on the list of the Progressive Committee of Nations. Once again, congratulations, Mr. President. Kabiru Adoyao, General Secretary, NURTW, announcer.
Let's now join Michael in Lagos for more stories.
Thank you, Yeri. Against the background of our reports, which warns that there could be shortfall in the number of seafarers by the year 2026, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, is assuring that monitoring and retention programs will be strengthened to harness the indispensability of seafarers to global trade. He was speaking at this year's World Maritime Day with the theme, Seafarers at the Core of Shipping Future. 2021 is the year of the seafarers. This is because the existence of the world and its economies are indebted to the selfless service of just 1.5 million people who defy hunger, piracy, and most importantly, the COVID-19 pandemic to keep afloat the constant supply of foods and drugs. I would also like to recognize the director. Nigeria, as signatory to the International Maritime Organization's Convention, is not just using this forum to increase the visibility of seafarers to global survival, but paying attention to designate seafarers as key workers, as outlined in the United Nations General Assembly resolution adopted in December.
Our role as a regulatory agency is to ensure that Nigerian seafarers are treated fairly by ship owners and employers.
There are presently 7,000 seafarers on the Nigerian Seafarers Register, but with rise in digital technology and automation, a change is inevitable. This the federal government is committed to addressing in order not to put one of the oldest professions in the industry at risk.
To bridge the resource gap in seafaring, there is a need to actively promote careers at sea and enhance maritime education and training. Nigeria will continue to analyze and respond to trends in seafarer retention and regularly monitor the nation's seafarer workforce.
Without seafarers, maritime transportation will come to a standstill.
Our seafarers are our highly treasured assets, in whom we are all well pleased and proud of.
Nigeria has shown greater commitment to ameliorate the challenges of seafarers, as the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency has since issued a marine notice regarding change of crew. The Nigerian Navy has reiterated its resolve to work with other security agencies to rid the society of robbery, banditry, and other emerging crimes. This was during the handing over of 2 armed robbery suspects arrested by operatives of the Nigerian Navy NNSW to prosecuting agencies in Lagos. Lynn Denike reports.
These 2 suspects were arrested at the Alakija axis of the Ojo local government area of Lagos State, where they specialize in the possessing unsuspecting residents of their valuables, using motorcycles and dangerous weapons.
We conduct night and day patrols, both vehicular and static patrols. That means we have men at Alakija and Kirikiri, armed men controlling traffic, and also we have gone to the houses of some of them. They are at large, but we are going to apprehend them.
Their arrest by the Navy, the commander says, is a further demonstration that the Navy is in synergy with other security agencies to rid the society of crime and criminality, stressing that the Navy will continue to carry out its constitutional role by adopting intelligence-driven measures. He warned criminals to shun crime or steer clear of the state. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy is strengthening its military-civil relations with its host community, with the official handing over of a renovated Lagos State Model Nursery and Primary School at Jegunle. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command said the once dilapidated classrooms are now remodeled to provide pupils with conducive environments for learning.
Choosing this school, we decided to impact on the pupil, especially young children like this. We believe they constitute the backbone and foundation of having a bright and future Nigeria.
I implore the head teacher, the teachers, the parents, the pupils to take ownership and not allow the building to deteriorate so that to maintain its value and our children will continue to learn in a conducive environment.
The unveiling of the plaque marks the beginning of a new experience of the pupils. In Lagos, Lane Lenake, NTA News.
That is it from here. Is now back to Iere for the continuation of the news.
Many thanks, Michael. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has inaugurated the technical boards of directors for institutes of the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI. Justin Bem-Onyi reports that this is a move the SGF believes will kickstart the effective and efficient implementation of the projects of the agency.
The inauguration comes sequel to the President's approval of the composition of the technical committees for the deployment of application of appropriate science and engineering technology that will serve as solution to the socio-economic problems in the country. In a message through the Permanent Secretary, General Services, Office of the SGF, Boss Mustafa reminded members of the various technical boards of their appointments being based on merit, and so the need for them to bring their valuable contributions to the institutions they will be serving.
From the composition of the members of these technical boards, I have every confidence that you will all participate in leading the way to the new grounds for this nation in a very professional manner.
With the inauguration of these technical boards today, Mr. President, who doubles as chairman of the NASENI Governing Board, has fulfilled his promises of repositioning the agency to deliver globally competitive products and services.
In all of the 3 decades of existence of NASENI, this is the first time to constitute technical boards for its subsidiaries, even though it is in consonant with the provisions of its law.
5 technical boards, each of the 9 development institutes of NASENI, were inaugurated to strengthen and reposition as well as deliver on specified mandates. Justin Bem-Onyi, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has mandated all its standing committees to thoroughly investigate all ministries, departments and agencies of government to ascertain whether or not they engage in diversion of budgeted funds. National Assembly correspondent reports that the resolution was passed during Thursday's plenary.
The House noted that the Ministry of Finance has so far released between 40 to 50% of funds appropriated for 2021 to ministries, departments and agencies of government, but that such funds are allegedly yet to be dispensed for implementation.
Some of the MDAs are alleged to have engaged in financial misappropriation by diverting such funds for other or related purposes, thereby frustrating government macroeconomic framework, while others are in outright denial of not receiving such releases.
Naming and shaming, so that we're specific, but I guess the committees will look into that.
The House also re-echoed the call from the Senate, urging federal government to declare bandits and their sponsors as terrorists.
Such declaration, Mr. Speaker, when given the force of law, will renew the vigor of our military personnel.
3 other motions on the need to investigate alleged police brutality in Delta State from Nicholas Osai, need to investigate public health institutions in the Federal Capital Territory raised by Mohammed Jatto, and the call to rehabilitate Avu Itekuru Road in Imo State as moved by Uju Kingsley were adopted. The House has passed a bill to establish Federal Polytechnic Fagi Kano State, a bill to establish Federal University of Agriculture Oyo State, a bill to establish College of Education Yauri Kebbi State, and a bill to establish National Hydrographic Agency. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The National Industrial Court of Nigeria has dismissed the suit jointly filed by the former Managing Director of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, Adebayo Shumefun, and former Executive Director, Operations, Kemi Nelson, challenging their suspension in July 2020 and consequent removal by President Muhammadu Buhari, acting through the Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige. The claimants asked the court to determine whether, having regard to Section 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 of the NSITF Act and circumstances of the suit, the defendant has the powers to suspend the managing director and executive directors from office. In her judgment, Justice Olufunke Yemi Anue considered issues 1 to 3 together and held that it was not the first defendant, Minister of Labour and Employment, that suspended the claimants from office, but the second defendant, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. According to Justice Anue, suspension from work or office is a disciplinary procedure which keeps away an employee or appointee from being disciplined from duty for a fixed or terminal period or indefinitely pending investigation into the alleged misconduct. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has permitted the application filed by Lagos State seeking to be joined as the third respondent in the appeal filed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, on the collection of value-added tax, VAT. The court held that Lagos has established beyond doubt that it has substantial and sufficient legal right and interest to protect in the revenue collection dispute. In a unanimous ruling, the court ordered that all processes filed in respect of the suit be served on Lagos as the third respondent to enable the state respond as required by law on the appeal filed by FIRS. Justice Haruna Simon Samani, who delivered the lead ruling, fixed October 7 for continuation of further hearing in the matter. A total of 2,783 terrorists have surrendered between 2nd and 30th September 2021. The Acting Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General Bernard Onyoko, announced this during a briefing on the update of ongoing armed forces operations across the country. Details on the briefing indicate that 128 terrorists and their collaborators were eliminated during different land and air operations in the northeast.
Boko Haram and Islamic West African province terrorists were neutralized. 43 terrorists, including their collaborators, logistics suppliers, were arrested in the course of the various operations. A total of 2,783 terrorists and their families surrendered within the period under review.
Similarly, 397 bandits met their Waterloo in the hands of troops of Operation Hadirin Daji in the northwest. Several criminal camps were destroyed and arms recovered during the joint operations that covered different parts of the country. A governance model that places people's well-being at the center of policy formulation and implementation has become imperative to move African countries out of the pool of poverty. At the National Institute for Security Studies lecture for Senior Course 14 graduation in Abuja, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says the crisis of good governance is the biggest threat to security and sustainable development in the continent. Kelvin Evonaye brings us details.
With a population of 1.3 billion people, Africa is the second largest continent in the world, but also harbors the world's poorest people, where access to basic amenities remain illusory to many, with implications for the continent's security. For Governor Nyesom Wike, it is now time for African leaders to re-examine the state of the continent, with each country evolving a governance system that promotes inclusiveness, education, job creation, eliminates corruption to free up resources for economic growth.
African leaders are struggling to make the required positive change in the lives of their people, and in many countries, these efforts are bearing some positive fruits in resolving the age-long challenges of underdevelopment.
Is to make sure that we have a synergy between the different agencies, between the different governments, and how we can tackle our common problems, security and development challenges across Africa.
The lecture was part of the training modules to impart on the participants leadership skills to prepare them for the ever-dynamic security spectrum. In Abuja, Kelvin Ewonuaye, NTA News.
Heading to Maiduguri now, a groundbreaking ceremony has been performed for the establishment of the 50 megawatts Maiduguri emergency power project. Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum performed the ceremony at the proposed site for the project in Maiduguri with officials of the NNPC led by the Group Managing Director Malam Mele Kiari, as well as Borno State government officials. Mohammed Goni reports.
The insurgents had early this year vandalized electricity towers along Maiduguri-Damaturu Road, throwing Borno State capital and environs into total darkness. All efforts made by the transmission company and Borno State government to restore electricity to Maiduguri proved abortive, as the insurgents continued to destroy the towers, including last week's destruction of over 5 towers. President Muhammadu Buhari, as part of efforts to restore electricity to Maiduguri, directed the NNPC to establish 50 megawatt gas power plant, for which the groundbreaking ceremony was performed. Stakeholders at the ceremony expressed gratitude to federal government for the project, which they say will bring an end to the power outage which has crippled economic activities.
Government is therefore doing everything humanly possible to ensure security of life and property are guaranteed, not only for the implementation team, but other residents of the state. Government do everything possible to deal with any human being that is willing to sabotage this very important initiative.
Excellency, I can confirm to you that we have placed orders for the turbines for this power plant. We are taking delivery in the month of October. This project will be delivered, Excellency.
We are indeed also grateful for the support received so far from the Borno State government and its people. We would further request for more support, both in terms of security and logistics.
Commissioner for Housing and Energy Yuguda Saleh Vungas and the Chairman Borno State Rural Electrification Board Abdusalam Kachalla appreciated the federal government through the NNPC and its subsidiaries for the project, assuring support for its realization. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
We're still monitoring the 61st Independence Anniversary Awards ceremony going on at the moment, and as soon as President Muhammadu Buhari gives his speech, we shall rejoin that event. Now, let's take another break. Please stay.
The CEOs of tomorrow are already on ground. Nigeria's youth are active partners in nation building. Youths must strive to be heard. Youth is the power to make choices. Powerful voices who see the world differently and process it with divergent views. Join us at the National Youth Conference in October 2021. All roads lead to Abuja. 3 whole days at the confirm. Youth delegates from the 36 states of Nigeria and the FCT, having conversations centered on youth inclusiveness, peace, security, governance, and employment. It is time for us to emerge. Let the youth decide. The National Youth Conference is made possible by the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development and private sector partners.
With star 966 Easy Banking, you can open a Zenith Bank account, purchase airtime and data, make transfers to any bank in Nigeria, pay bills and make POS payments, create a wallet account, and perform other self-service options like PIN and password reset and temporary blockage of your account. Star 966 is fast, easy, and convenient. And more importantly, it can be used on any phone type as it requires no data. Dial star 966 to get started now. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
When you wake up in the morning, before you start your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time. For work and for play, for a great start to your day, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
We always start our day with a nourishing Kellogg's breakfast, powered with the goodness of grains and 11 essential vitamins and minerals. So in our family, breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
The president is about to give his address at the award ceremony. Let's now join our live broadcast crew.
So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me invite His Excellency the President to deliver his address. Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, the Senate President, Honorable Speaker, House of Representatives, Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, former Vice President, members of the National Assembly, members of the Federal Executive Council, members of the diplomatic community, royal fathers, captains of industry, religious leaders, senior government officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am very delighted to be addressing you today as we conclude the activities marking our 60th anniversary celebration as a nation. Looking at the activities lined up for today's event gives me a great deal of comfort that no matter the challenges we face, as we go through the nation-building process, we would always come out better. Nigeria is undoubtedly a blessed nation with abundant human and natural resources underpinned by a very rich socio-cultural diversity which needs to be positively harnessed to forge a greater Nigeria. For this diversity to translate into positive gains that would ensure an inclusive, equitable, and sustainable growth requires that we Nigerians consistently embrace the ethics and values that unite us in spite of our diversity. Appreciate our individual and collective role in nation building and forging ahead as a people with a common vision as a strong and indivisible nation. For me, this is the key message of Nigeria's activities. Today's event is anchored on the importance of our discovering our great nation together and not discovering it in our individual spaces as we are wont to do. I am sure some of us have gone through various stands at this venue, and as we went through the Discover Nigeria Pavilion, we must have been struck with not only the beauty, but also the intensity of the common strands running through our culture. As we all march towards building the Nigeria of our dreams, government will continue to provide the enabling environment for citizens to achieve their dreams while we count on our support to make Nigeria a better place for all. We must all come together to propagate a new and positive narrative that Nigeria is ready to harness her own resources to become a global player in commerce, governance, arts, sports, and other fields of endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to emphasize that for the attainment of my sustainable development, unity is important. Let us unite as a nation and be irrevocably committed to one indivisible Nigeria. I am therefore very excited to be unveiling the book, Discover Nigeria, because it broadly makes the case why we should always be positive about our country. As I look around this hall and marvel at the scenery, I feel the more challenge to keep my word in my 2021 Democracy Day speech. My commitment to bequeathing a sustainable democratic culture remains resolute. My pursuit of a fair society remains unshaken, and my desire to see that Nigeria remains a country for each and every one of us has never been stronger. I would like to also congratulate the Inter-ministerial Committee of Nigeria at 60 that have put all these wonderful displays together. Finally, I wish to congratulate all the awardees of today's event and to encourage Nigerians to work hard in our respective callings to make sure that we bequeath a better country for those coming after us. This award is unique, not only to the recipients, but to the nation, as it marks a significant epoch in our nation's history, just like the Centenary Awards. Being different from the Nigerian National Merit Award, it has given us another opportunity to encourage Nigerians that individual achievements would always be rewarded. As we close the 60th anniversary celebrations today and look forward to the beginning of a better, brighter, and great Nigeria come tomorrow, when we begin our 61st year as a nation, it is my hope that our march to unity and greatness gathers momentum. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So we invite all the award winners tonight to join His Excellency the President for a group photograph. The award is for bravery and for patriotism.
President Muhammadu Buhari giving his address at the award ceremony ongoing right now. Let's go back to the news. The federal government has commenced Project Zero Hunger through a strengthening response to meet the Sustainable Development Goal 2 by 2030. The initiative, solely for persons of concern nationwide, is from the joint efforts of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons with Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association.
David, a mother of 6, has been displaced to the Durumi camp, Abuja, for over 8 years.
And as we are sitting here, we don't have food to eat. Even the house that we are living in, rain is coming inside.
To help change Susan's narrative and other persons with same story comes Project Zero Hunger Initiative with a slogan, "Each one feed one."
As Nigeria is committed to ending hunger, achieving food security, improving nutrition and promoting sustainable agriculture, which are priority of the World Food Programme, all hands, I must say, must be on deck to support this noble initiative.
A gift of food care packs were presented to the beneficiaries, and project's drivers are already enjoying support from more partners, promising to help promote the cause.
How it continues will depend on the drive, the support from each and every member and organ of society in an attempt to strengthen our response for all persons of concern.
We pray that security and peace will be restored to Nigeria.
Project Zero Hunger Initiative is also capturing widows of the fallen heroes, and with 200 of them selected in this maiden edition, President Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DEPOA, says strategies are in place to achieve total coverage. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Plus 600, a compendium chronicling major achievements of Nigerians abroad, will soon be on the screens of the NTA. Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, says this when the leadership of Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission visited him in Abuja. Francis Form reports.
The plus means it's going to be endless and a lot more coming up.
This presentation of Plus 600 Compendium signaled the commencement of a renewed partnership between NTA and the Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission. The publication features icons at 60 that have made Nigeria proud outside the shores. The chairman, Nitkam Abikedabiri Erewa, briefed the NTA DG on the content of the compendium. He was excited and commended the Nitkam boss for being a true defender of Nigerians in the foreign land.
We have just too many success stories abroad. It's amazing. And DGs, as we present you this compendium, we really want to work more with you to showcase each and every one of these success stories, even if it's just a minute or two. It's amazing. No country in the world would have this kind of people everywhere in the world except Nigeria, and I'm proud to say that.
What we get to hear is about the few Nigerians who scam. There are Nigerians doing very great things, and in the countries, where they, where they live and do these great things, they are appreciated more than they are appreciated, in Nigeria. And I'd like to assure you that you will be working directly, with the Executive Director Program. Actualization or visualization of the icons of the 600 plus icons will be a special project.
Partnership in motion already. Compendium expected to be on the screen, but for now, best wishes to each other. Franks is from NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, has tasked participants at the 3-day training program for reporters and on-air personalities to go back to their various stations and impact their colleagues with knowledge they have acquired. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday brings us details.
Broadcast television is evolving rapidly, and there is a need for media outfits to transform for long-term viability. It is in line with the paradigm shift of the NTA that these journalists were brought together for them to be equipped with new trends in broadcasting. After 2 days of training in communication skills, news reporting, and script writing, presentation was the focus on the day 3, where facilitators, including the veteran broadcaster, Cyrus Toba, took participants through some of the requisites needed as on-air personalities.
The brand you want to be, you have to be good and be proficient in your job.
In the participatory session, some of the trainees were given the opportunity to make inputs that will enhance their performances, just as they pledged not to let the organization down.
Provide us with good attires to wear on hair. It's what I wear that will make you sit down to listen to what I want to deliver.
We will not tell the story instead of reporting. There's a paradigm shift. I must say that I'm privileged and I want to commend the efforts.
Leadership of the NTA and that of its collaborator, Content Development and Monitoring Board, expressed their expectations from the beneficiaries.
We have the capacity and the ability to change NTA for the better, so that at the end of the day we can look back and say, yes, that was the stone I contributed to the mosaic that is NTA.
We have done this because we are satisfied with the quality that NTA has offered us. NTA has long reach of experience and competent personnel. Just as your motto says, you can't beat the rich.
Mohammed Labo is the head of the news directorate of the NTA.
Those things that you knew, you got them reinforced. There's a lot that is expected of NTA by Nigerians, and therefore there is a lot that is expected of you by NTA. And we count on you to make management realize that objective.
And we promise you, sir, that we will try to carry on the tradition and will make you proud.
Though they might have been drilled for 3 days, they are going back to their stations with the mindset that quality content makes them kings, and they have certificates to show for it. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Let's take a quick break. Please stay.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go. With the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
You back to school. Have a session filled with lots of fun and excitement. Stay safe, stay healthy. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Chelsea will look to bounce back from their loss against the defending champions when they take on Southampton at Stamford Bridge. Will they succeed? Find out this Saturday on the Premier League Live. It's Chelsea versus Southampton, showing on the network service of the NTA from 2:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu, empowered by Integral.
And that concludes Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching. Please be a star and enjoy your independence celebration. Good night.